Hello, and welcome to Black Box Online Radio. If this is the first thing that you've clicked on from this channel, I would like to say that we have just completed a 15-part series on Thomas Henry Horton and the Great Zodiac Killer Hoax of 1986. If you're into true crime and the Zodiac Killer, feel free to check that out. We'll have some links posted here. But the other thing that I would like to say is, since we've completed that book, I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think is a good Zodiac book to do for the next project that we have on this channel? I mean, I was just trying to think about some of the ones that I had come into mind, but then I thought, why not just ask the internet and see what suggestions do you guys have about a good way to approach the subject? The Great Zodiac Killer Hoax of 1986 is part of a trilogy of books. We could keep going with that one, or we could just take a page out of that book itself and start exploring Robert Graysmith's work. Or some of the other ones that I had mentioned in the past were possibly Lyndon Lafferty and the Zodiac Killer cover-up. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. I kind of had this urge to look a little bit more into Steve Hodel and his book Most Evil Part 2, which explores the possibility of his father, George Hill Hodel, being the Zodiac Killer. The problem with that one is, I know that it's 99.9% completely wrong. The only problem is, I don't necessarily know if it's a problem. It would be more like, I think we could debunk that book in a variety of ways. Since we did our first original uploads on George Hill Hodel, I've thought of some new things about how we could give some commentary on that particular subject. But I don't know. Is it even worth it to do a large series on something like Steve Hodel and George Hill Hodel? This is the guy that says his father was the Black Dahlia Avenger. He committed the lipstick murders in Chicago, as well as possibly other murders in the Philippines. Ed Edwards is also a Zodiac Killer suspect that we've never talked about on this channel, mostly because I'm just feeling that is very likely not true. But with this book, Most Evil Part 2, there are probably some ways that we could debunk the situation, or at least give some commentary as an alternative. That whole concept of providing an alternative to someone else's standpoint. There is a book out there about Earl Van Best, and I would be open to exploring that more. We've done one upload on Earl Van Best being a potential Zodiac Killer suspect, but I just have to say, I don't see a lot of credibility in that either. But if there is a suspect out there that a lot of people think could be the Zodiac Killer, and we think that we can challenge that narrative, we can also go about it in that way. Because the people who have been listening to this channel and listening to the Zodiac Killer uploads, as well as some of the other true crime things we've talked about, they've probably heard me say this in the past. If someone can easily debunk a theory or debunk someone else's statement, all right, then do it. What's stopping you? If you can just give a 5-minute explanation about how and why you think this thing is not true because of all of these reasons, all right, then do it. I mean, put it to rest and just be like, hey, I did that once. I've already done it. If you want to hear what I had to say about that subject, there it is. Case closed. So I'm open to any possible subject. So that's just the question I would like to ask you guys. What book in the Zodiac Killer history do you think we should explore next? Please drop your comments below. What book do you want to hear about? And much like this last segment, it would probably turn into something like a 10 to 15 part series about these uploads that are going to be coming out. What do you want to hear about? What do you guys want? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you are a new listener, feel free to check out some of our things on the Zodiac Killer on this channel, as well as any other subject we've talked about. That's all for me now. Until next time.